Hey, everybody. We are live for Boss Talks. We're really excited to have a great guest. She's been a customer of ours for a while now, and we got really excited to see all the fun she's having on social media all the time at her community, involving her residents, her staff, getting lots of follows, likes, viral videos. So without further ado, I want to add Veronica Soto of Brandywine Apartments to Boss Talks number 2. All right. Hey, Veronica.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you? Of
Good. Thank you for joining me.
course.
I'm very excited to have you.
Thank you.
I must say, our whole team loves seeing what you're doing on TikTok. And initially, we saw what you were doing regarding us, and then we saw everything else too, obviously. But I'd love it if you would just lead off with who you are, where you're at, and really how long you've been in the property management game.
All right. So good to see everybody. We're super excited to be here today. My name is Veronica Soto. I'm the property manager at Brandywine Apartments in Delano. I started my career with Vandenberg Properties in 1998, actually.
Oh, wow.
It's been a minute or so. So, yeah, we do a lot of things here at the property that has just boomed. Like you mentioned, we did start our TikTok when COVID started and it just took off. We did it to keep connected with the residents and we weren't expecting it. Yeah.
And I have to brag on you guys a little bit because from TikTok specifically, you guys have 10,000 followers. You
Yeah.
have, this is an apartment community, people. Like, this isn't her personal account. This is all,
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing. Honestly, I've started to try and follow more and more apartment communities, both on our Instagram and on TikTok. And I've yet to find any that are even close to that. I don't know if there are, to be honest.
Oh, thank you.
Um, and you guys have over 200,000 likes of your videos on TikTok, as well as there's some that you have gotten well over almost 500,000 views. So you've definitely gone viral.
Yeah.
And and
Surprise, actually.
yeah, and you guys are having a great time. I guess what's inspired you to even start doing this? To connect with your residents, sure, but why did you think that would be a way to do that?
On TikTok, we really wanted to branch out because of COVID. We wanted to connect a little bit more, make things more fun for the residents. Because, of course, on TikTok, you could do so many different things. Are you having fun? Are you being silly? Are you doing tutorials? There's so many different things you can do. So, we really did start on there. Well, we've noticed that the followers or how people start to engage is not really with the units. It's good to showcase your property, but they really love seeing what you do with residents. So
Right.
that's a biggie. And I don't know if you've seen on some of our TikToks and in the comments, it was like, I can't believe you do this. Why are you doing this? I've never seen an apartment complex do something like this, which a lot of properties do, of course, do things, but like you said, I'm gonna brag a little bit about our property as well. So we take it up here, right? There's nothing doing it on bottom. We don't know how to do anything basic. It's just not in us anymore. But then too, we've done it for so long. So
Right.
we want our residents to feel like they're part of this community because they are, right? I don't want them to feel like just pay your rent, see you later, call us if something's not working. No, they need to feel like they're part of this community and we do a lot of engagement with them, try to involve them. The kids love all of these things. But yeah, those TikToks really took off.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to watch your guys' TikToks because it is really showcasing all that is happening in your community. Yeah, there's funny and all that. That's all great. And you're showing some of your units and how you've renovated them and how they look great. But beyond that, you're showing that you actually have a community. You're showing that Like, you guys do awesome events. You just did a great Easter egg extravaganza, I think you called
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I saw the videos and how many people were there and the scatter of kids going after eggs and stuff. So you guys really are putting a lot of effort, not into just TikTok. Like, that takes effort too, but you're actually doing a lot of work that's positive for your community, which I applaud and I think is
Thank
awesome.
you. Yeah.
You guys are doing awesome.
And not just that, I think what kind of sets us apart from other communities is we don't just do things for our residents. We're big on community involvement, doing block parties with different partners in the community. We do with Delano PD, we do their trunk or treat, we do street fairs. We're going to be doing one teaming up with Clinica Sierra Vista for their mental health awareness month. Next month, they reached out to us. We had helped out before, and the answer was, of course, yes, we'll be there. It's really important to not just be involved in your community, but in the whole community where you're located, because that says a lot,
Right.
right? You want people to know that you care about where you live and you should take pride about where you live. So we're really, really big on that. So my team knows if they're working here, they're going to be tired when we do events because it's nonstop, nonstop. It's even, you get more tired doing that than working all day.
Oh, sure. No,
Yeah.
this events are definitely over and beyond. I did my last job was that's all we did. We were building community, doing events in apartments, and I personally did it for almost 3 years,
Yep.
and so we were a third party doing it, and I know how much work it is for the manager to do it is going over and beyond. Like,
Yes.
it is a lot, and I think one of your most viral videos was actually you guys putting together, treat bags. I think that's the one that got almost 500,000 views, and just showcasing, like, what you're doing and the ideas around, "Hey, these are simple things you can do for your people that live on your community and that they really appreciate."
Oh, yeah.
It really seems like a lot of people are getting ideas from you guys too. I'm even seeing in the comments right here, the people watching, like,
Yeah.
other apartment communities, that they really appreciate the things you're doing and the ideas that you give them.
And
Applaud you.
we get some of our other properties who will be like, why our residents aren't coming out or they're not really engaged or we didn't get a big turnout, but you really have to just stay consistent. Like I said, we've been
Absolutely.
for so long and maybe you don't get a big turnout originally, but then once the residents start seeing, "Oh, that's nice. We should have went," or they go to one event and the kids and the parents, when they say, "I really appreciate you doing this," that's what makes it all worth it. But for us, when we go out to a community event, we were out one and they were like, "Oh, you're the Brandywine girls, right?" And it's, "Yeah." Everyone pretty much knows we're everywhere, and if anything, they might get a little tired of seeing Brandywine everywhere, but that's okay.
No, yeah, honestly, the more you're consistent and the more you show success in what you're doing, people will see, oh, you really can't do an event or anything one time and expect it to take hold because of what I learned, especially with events, is you do one and then people are just thinking, oh, that was nice of them. And then it's when you do the next one and the next one, they go, oh, this is going to be a regular thing.
Yeah.
They're going to do this all the time. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we've gotten quite a few because now we use a system called community rewards for our residents. So it
Yeah.
literally rewards the residents for giving feedback and things like that. And we've noticed that a lot of on the reviews or feedback, they're always saying, "I was drawn to this property because I saw you on social media and you guys do a lot with your
Mm,
residents." So that
yeah.
really does make a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've even seen it on your TikTok. People are like, where are you located? I want to
Yeah.
live there.
Yeah.
So honestly, it works. And I think what's awesome too is you guys aren't even trying to show yourselves as perfect.
No. Far.
You're showing you're showing yourselves as who you are as a community. And that means the people that resonates with will be like, I want to live there. You'll get the right people to live in the community, to fit that community and to feel at home in that community. So, and it seems to work.
And
What?
I feel
So,
like some of the other properties maybe are a little hesitant to show the reality of what really happens during
mm,
a real work day. So we even showcase when our units have flooded, and that's
oh,
the
I saw one that you had a fire.
yeah, a whole bunch of different things we do. How to break the glass on the fire extinguisher, because you'd be surprised some residents don't know how to do those things, or they forget how to pay rent online,
Mhm.
check your smoke alarm. We've even gotten comments, people on our smoke alarms or thermostats, and they're saying, I didn't know how to do that. It's really good to reach out. You reach all of these different types of people who maybe live in an apartment complex and they don't have that connection with their properties. We've
Right.
got people comment and say, I wish my property would do things like that. They don't do anything. And I always reply and tell them, ask them, ask, not going to hurt to ask. Maybe know that they want to do that.
Because it's a lot of effort.
Oh,
If no one's gonna come, the manager is probably gonna default to, "I'm not doing that."
exactly. And then they,
Yeah.
but you can't get discouraged. And I teach my team that, like I mentioned, doing things with our community, that's great. We love our Brandywine community, but take it outside and interact with the community in general, because that means a lot, because you're really contributing. You may think no, but you are. You're making a
Yeah.
difference.
Well, also, one thing I know to be true is apartments tend to have a stigma or bad reputation in communities, just defaultly, not
Right.
because they've actually done anything wrong, but so it's really great to be reaching into the community to show that you care about the community, you want to be a positive in the community, and the residents here also do. Not, we're just renters and we don't care. That's not true. And you
Right.
can showcase that. So that's what you're saying is absolutely true.
And letting know our residents what's going on in the community. I'm part of the Delano Police Department liaison board. I find getting involved with the community just in general, that really does help the residents too, because you're bringing that back to them. But like you mentioned, that takes work, right? That's after hours, and
Right.
but
Yep.
it really is, how far do you want, or what do you want to do to make your property great? I wouldn't say the best, because no property is the best. We like to say we're Delano's finest rental community, which I truly believe that we are, but there's always work that could be made. Another point when we're talking about TikTok, which is really good, is one of our, I'm sure you've seen it. It was one of the videos where we did like a rehab unit, and we got a lot of comments from people outside of our community who gave really good suggestions.
Okay.
One of them was something so small of, you guys still have that ugly fluorescent lighting, which at first I was like, wow, thanks. That's nice. My dad just took all this time to make this unit beautiful, and that's what you noticed. But those were another set of eyes, right? So we started to think about that, look at the comment. How are we going to react to that comment? In a bad way? No, because we want everyone's opinion. So we started to change those out, and it flew off the wall. All the new
Yeah.
ones love it. Little things, really taking those comments openly, not, why did they say that was mean?
Sure.
But you do get mean comments on TikTok. We've gotten quite a few of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But everyone has a right to their opinion. And we like seeing all the comments though, because like I said, they give us great feedback. And as a renter, right, how do you want the unit to look? How would it be appealing to you? Do you like resident events? Do you like this color? Small things like that. So yeah, it's worked out really good. We're super
Mm.
excited to keep going.
Right. Yeah. No, you get a good response from it. So that's really great. So you mentioned one of your tools that you have is community rewards, which I'm very familiar with that. And are there other things that you guys use in your community that are helpful?
So we have community rewards, which we barely started that not too long ago. The residents love it. How could you not love free gift cards? And we have active building. I'm sure you're probably familiar with active building. It's another
Oh,
way. to communicate with our residents. And then, of course, how much time do we have? Because you know that I'm on, right? Parking
Oh, she's
lot,
got her. I didn't even see it. Thanks for parking
luminous,
bot.
right?
Oh, there it is.
So Sylvia
Got her
was,
bling.
yeah, putting my necklace on, and she was like, Veronica, you are not going to wear that necklace. And I was like, oh, yes, I
I love it. I love it.
am. We love Parking Boss. We love Amenity Boss. But we recently did, well, like you mentioned, our Easter extravaganza, and we used Amenity Boss for our bounce house. It
Okay.
was amazing. We love it. It couldn't be any more simpler. We were able to have that spreadsheet available after so we could see who attended. It was just, you guys really do an amazing job with all of these ways to connect and make things easy, tracking. So, like I said, if I wasn't at Brandywine, I would definitely be in the team. I love it.
Yeah. No, we love.
Sometimes everyone's okay, Veronica, we get it. You like parking lots. I'm like, no, you don't know how horrible parking was here before we got you guys. It's been a godsend. My residents who are longtime residents, they feel my pain, right? They used to come home, not be able to park. Ever since we've had Parking Boss, it's just made things so much easier for us. So we love it.
So yeah, what kinds of things were you dealing with before you started using our stuff with parking
So
lots specifically?
So we would never have enough spaces for the residents to park. Someone would come home, try to park in our parking spaces. Of course, they were not able to because somebody was in there. We would have the residents leave their vehicles here, abandoned vehicles. We would also have where they have 3, 4, 5 vehicles on the property, taking away from residents who need parking. So once I found you guys, it took a little transition. The residents are not used to that, but I tell all of our new move-in, if you don't like structure, don't move here because it's not going to work out, right? It's like I give them this an example. This is like a relationship. We're dating, right? We're dating. We don't know each other, and maybe it's going to work. Maybe it's, but at the end of our lease, we can either stay connected or we're splitting ways, right? So it's really as simple as that. The residents, like I said, who love structure, they love parking. They couldn't love it any better. The ones who don't like to follow rules, they're not going to last here because there's no way to get around manipulating the system, really. So they love it.
Right.
We love it. You know that.
Yeah. We loved the initial parking TikTok you did, and then you followed up with another one that was pretty hilarious actually. So you guys should check out their TikTok channel, which is Brandywine Apartments, right?
Yeah.
And then you've just done shout outs and stuff. And obviously you wear your bling with pride, which we love. So
I and my shirt, you need it. I talk about you guys all the time. And that's because I believe in the system that you guys have going. It's amazing. It's so helpful. I have other people reach out. What do you use? Why are you using that? What's the benefits of it? I always refer them to you guys because it really is an amazing system that you guys have. And you're constantly keeping it updated and adding different things. I especially like the ones where we could see how many times the residents try to register with the wrong passcode or using somebody else's passcode, or it's funny, really. If we had
yeah.
all day to go through these reports, it's hilarious.
And actually we've added to that. There's actually a whole dashboard. I'm not even you may or may not have noticed this yet, but a new part of our system is to be able to see how long or how many times people have registered as a guest. So there could be somebody that registers basically 30 out of 30 days
Right.
as a guest. And it's, huh, are you living here?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
And
So
the system
through,
track you. It tells you everything. And Sylvia here in the property, she's the one who majority will follow up with the phone calls and tell the residents or when they get a violation. And it's so helpful because, like you said, it tells you all of these things. We had one where she was really upset and she's like, Why are you blocking my guests from registering and that you're not allowed to do that. So we go into the system and it's this resident or this guest has been registering how many times consistently for 48 hours. I let her know. Are you sure that you didn't move somebody in? She hasn't replied to me. What does that for?
Yeah, yeah. But you have something to back up your claim because
Exactly.
you totally have a record. So,
Yes,
um,
very well, the photos, when you pick the photos for violations, we've even had one thing that was really stood out to me was we had one time highway patrol come and they were looking for somebody. We ran the license plate and we're like, oh yeah, they're visiting, blah, blah, blah. So that was really helpful. And that was actually a biggie, something that had happened and they were able to track them right here at the property. So that was good.
yeah. And I think you posted about another thing where I want to say somebody was just parked in your parking lot and you
Oh,
were able talk about that because that was
the gentleman who was asleep, remember? So when we come in and he says, yeah, there's a guy asleep in the parking lot in the truck. She ran the license plate. He's not registered, never been registered. So we ended up calling PD and they came out. I was on the phone with them. They're like, oh, Veronica, go to the office right now. Are you by the parking? And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at the car. And they're like, no, go to the office right now. And I'm like, why? Why do I need to go to the office? I'm waiting right here to see what happens. And they're like, Veronica, would you listen to me? Go to the office right now. Get away from the car. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what do you mean? I guess come to find out, this gentleman had stole the truck. He had like warrants and it was this big old thing. Keep in mind, not too long before that, when I called PD, I was at the window banging, going, hello, can you get off of my property? You don't belong here. So when the dispatch heard that, they were like, "You are Veronica. You don't even know what." I was like, "He's on my property. I'm gonna ask him to leave." But we didn't know. And
what's
then
it
the
mean?
PD asked us, "How did you know? Like they weren't supposed to be here?" We're like, "We had there I go talking about parking lots. We had this great system." So yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah.
yeah,
And so you were able to find somebody that was not an authorized resident. We'll call them that.
exactly. Yeah. No, it's
And
amazing. We love it. And yeah, we love doing the TikToks. We're gonna do another one here soon, but we
perfect.
find like doing the TikToks with barking boss. I don't know if you read in the captions, but I'll be like, if you're a resident who follows the rules, you're gonna love this. If you're not gonna want to watch this TikTok because it's about them, of course.
Yeah. But you're just being honest.
Yeah, but then maybe they understand it better. Oh, that's why you can't do that. Or okay, I get it. Or we got a
Well,
gentleman who got towed what, 4, 5 times? 5 times because he can't follow the rule. So it's like, you don't get it? Like, so
yeah.
3 years?
Yeah. It's really funny. I don't know if you're seeing the comments, but a lot of your apartment communities, I'm only assuming they are tied to your same ownership group. They're saying some hilarious things that you should be our paid spokesperson and that you speak about Parking Boss all the time.
All in our meetings, I brag about it. Even you can even ask my husband when we're, like, in Las Vegas, I'm like, "Oh my god, they should use parking lots and people," and but I really do it has really made life easier for us, so that's why I'm like because I really do truly appreciate our all your guys' hard work and making this system because it really is it's amazing.
Yeah, we have a great team. Our customer success, also the people that obviously build the software. Yeah, they do a great job. Our
Yeah,
salespeople.
you
So
right there anytime we need something or helping us. Sylvia had an issue one time with something, and then I was like, "Ask parking boss if there's a way to find out." Right away, they're like, "Yep, here you go, Sylvia." We're like, "What? Okay, geez." Yeah, it's great. We love
that's
it.
awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I guess I want to ask anybody that's watching if they have any questions for Veronica or for me, but this is really about her, not me or her team. So if
Yeah.
anybody has anything, by all means, ask away. And while you're thinking of the question, I want to ask Veronica one fun question.
Okay.
If you could have any superpower or be a superhero, what would it be?
Only one?
You can have multiple. Go for it. Yeah.
I would love to, this is going to sound corny, but I would love to have peace in the world. I wish everybody would totally support each other, right? I wish we could all just not be so negative per se. And maybe I told my team this the same thing. And I say this to a lot of the other properties like, don't wait. If you see that somebody is doing a good job, shout them out. Tell them maybe they need to hear that. Maybe they need to know that what they're doing is making a difference. So I really wish we had more supporters in the world, get people to want to support what you're doing, and maybe that will inspire them.
Yeah.
Helping out your community, like I said, that is a biggie. But supporting each other, you need that. Sometimes you don't know what people are going through. I tell the girls the same thing, or even maintenance. I tell them sometimes they'll be like, "That resident was so mean to me," or they were just snappy and they yelled at me. I'm not saying that's acceptable, but sometimes people just need to vent, or they want to hear. They need someone to talk to. So the girls on maintenance, they know I tell them good morning. You don't know if you're the only person who acknowledged them today. You don't know
Right.
how much it took for them to get out of that bed, or they're taking baby steps and then someone knocks them for trying. So I think that's a biggie, is trying to think before we speak and really trying to lift people up. Cause I know, like with us, that's important too. You do all of these things for your residents, and sometimes you're like, should I keep doing this? Maybe not, because it's not really making a difference. So just a one comment or a message. Hey girls, just wanted to tell you we really appreciated your team. That means a lot. It really does. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
That's
getting people involved, try to do lots of different volunteer work. That's important in your community. Donating if you can. There's so many things that you can do to make a difference. Like I said, even just, hi, good morning, how are you? That makes a difference, really, it does.
yeah. No, and I think that's a great superpower.
Yeah.
Bringing peace to the world. We need that right now for sure.
Yeah.
There's a
Super
lot of
active.
things pulling us apart and making us not see each other as equally human. So
Exactly.
we're all pretty fleshy and
Yeah. Or sometimes you'll get a call from a resident and they're upset. And you just need to be like, do you need to talk?
yeah.
I'm here. Do you want to talk? Because properties, sometimes we forget that maybe that resident doesn't have family, right? Maybe you're the only person they really interact with. I won't give names or specifics, but I tell the girls, we wear a lot of different hats as working on a property. So you're a fireman at one point in time, you're a therapist, that's for
Oh yeah.
sure, right?
100%. Every single property manager.
Yes, you do counseling, you're the PD, you're a mediator, but so many times we'll get like the residents and they'll call and the girls are like, so and so said they're breaking up with whoever, Bobby. I'm just saying Bobby because we don't have a Bobby here. Bobby, and I'm like, give it a couple days. They'll be okay. They're going to be walking, holding hands. Just leave it. Let them cool off. When we did our Easter extravaganza, I had two different units who I was counseling in the office, but they really took to listening to me. Sometimes they just need to hear that or hear that you care. And we really do. I tell everybody, this is our own little community. There's so many people living here. You need to have that interaction and make them feel like they're welcome, which they all are welcome. Even those occasional bad apples in the bunch, because you always get those.
That never happened.
Never, that never happened. Like my TikTok word, what did it say? So yeah, me, a bad renter, never. Right now, yeah, it's
Yeah. And I want to I saw your TikTok about tisking people giving you a bad review. And I was like,
uh
how could you?
that was like, and the girls were like, Veronica, don't do it. Don't do that. Not do that. And I was like, I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying it really does hit you when you really
Yeah,
try. With me, I'm more used to, say, being abused by the residents or talking bad or being called those bad names, which is fine. I'm used to it. I've been in this game so long, but I don't want, when my team is putting in so much effort, I don't want them to get discouraged because then they don't want to do it or they don't give it their all. Now it
right.
becomes they have to do it. No, I don't want them to have to do it. I want them to want to do it. So that's where I have to be like, I appreciate you. I noticed all the hard work you did. Just like I try to do fun things for them. Birthdays are a biggie, anniversaries are a biggie. So a big shout out to our assistant manager, Anissa, since we're talking about anniversaries. Today is her 6-year anniversary. So yeah, so
Nice.
she is doing an amazing
Shout out.
job. So trying to do all these things to make your team feel special, that you have to do those type of things too, because they deserve
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Me,
Absolutely.
I'll be in the back going, somebody say I did a good job. No. And then I have parking blocks and luminous to tell me.
Hey, we think you are, and I think it's true. There's a lot of fake social media out there, and then there's things that are authentic, and you can see that it's not just this mural of artistic, you live here, you're going to be in this painting, basically, which we're all trying to sell, but I think sometimes we oversell, and there's reality.
Yeah, you don't want your community to have it's going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. You're going to have issues. You're going to have a leak. You're going to have parking issues. You're going to have a noisy neighbor. That's just the reality of it. But like you said, don't paint that picture as something else because really people or maybe someone who's looking for an apartment, they want to know what really happens. Oh,
Right.
okay. That does happen. But
Right.
then it's how do you correct it? How do you fix it? What can we do to change that? Like I said, with TikTok getting all those negative comments at first on that one that my maintenance worked so hard on, it was
Yeah.
like, are we going to take this in a bad way? No, let's go ahead and flip it and we'll use it and we'll try to change it. I don't know if you saw another one where they had said, and I actually did a backup TikTok to that one for that comment. So I tagged her because she said it wasn't good. The unit wasn't good. So I did one where it was like, boom, done. Is that better?
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We have lots of
Well,
fun here. You didn't notice.
yeah, no, and I think it's great. I think it's great. You got to have fun at work. And I just really want to say thank you to you and your team and for your time right now, for joining me on episode 2 of Boss Talks. And we just appreciate you and all the work you're doing at your community, for your community, leading your team. And I hope they appreciate you. But I know you have a good team as well. So,
Yes, I do. So it
and
takes people to do what you do, right?
oh, absolutely. And I also want to just encourage everybody that's watching, or maybe they're going to watch this later, that the community Brandywine, it's not in a major metropolitan area. This isn't in LA or San Francisco. This is in a small town north of Sacramento,
We're right near
Modesto,
build.
Bakersfield. So just north of Bakersfield and probably more agriculture area, I'm
Yeah.
assuming. Yeah. So it's not like this is a community that big city, high rise, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Anybody can do what they're doing. Anybody can. And that's the proof of what they're doing can be done anywhere. And it's just more about being authentic and consistent.
Yes.
So,
We
yep.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm sure we'll talk again. And otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your week.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday, and now it's all downhill from here, right? So, all right. Thank you, Veronica. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you too. Thanks for having us.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.